We come now to our segment that honors the Pinoy entrepreneur. And tonight we are proud to feature someone who, coming from very humble beginnings, is now employing over 100 workers in his stores.
Ed Paraza hails from Heron at Tarlac, where life was difficult for him and his siblings. When he graduated from elementary, Ed and his siblings decided to go to Manila to look for their father.
So ngayon, nung makita namin, nakita ko na yung sitwasyon nila na mahirap din ang buhay nila kasi nakikitira sila doon sa isang relative din. So ngayon, nung nasa high school ako, doon din ako tumira doon sa pinagtitira nila. So pinilit ko na doon nag-umpisa na kailangan mangarap ako na pag-graduate ko, kailangan maiangat ko yung antas din ng buhay ko.
Ed recalls that on his first year at the Arellano High School, when he was 13 years old, a teacher asked them to write an essay on what they would be 20 years from now.
So ako naman, dahil isang requirement lang na essay yon, so ginawa ko, sabi ko, 20 years from now, magiging milyonaryo ako.
But the young man persevered and he went to college at the Pamantasang Maynila for his college, where he was a state scholar taking up electrical engineering. An older sibling who had graduated helped him with his transportation money and a modest allowance. But Ed had to move to another school for his fourth year because not wanting to compromise his scholarship due to the difficulties of his chosen course. Ed's first job after college was selling cell phones. That was in 1993.
May bit-bit akong cellphone na ibababa kami ng supervisor namin sa porte. And then, kakatok kami sa mga bahay-bahay para ibenta yung cellphone. Lalakarin ko yun hanggat maulanan ka at maarawan ka para lang makabenta ka.
He found that with employment, he still wasn't earning enough. And in 2001, with 60,000 pesos in his pocket, he ventured into the buy and sell business. It was the time when export overruns were available, and he was able to get his hands on a few hundred garments, which he sold in Green Hills. That was in June 2001. And before Christmas, Ed joined a Christmas bazaar at the World Trade Center to sell his overruns. As luck would have it, a group of Koreans looking for business opportunities bought some garments with them, which they brought to Korea. And by January of 2002, these group of Koreans were placing a big order with him for garments.
So that was actually the turning point. Na in few months, like 3 to 5 months, I earned like a huge amount of money.
Ed's business boomed instantly, and within 3 to 5 months of supplying 3 Korean groups, he was able to amass a fortune. But soon after, the garments business plummeted, and when the exchange rate had the peso plunging, many garments manufacturers closed down with their factories.
Wala na rin yung mga manufacturing natin dito, so maraming na-lay off na mananahe dito sa Philippines.
Meanwhile, Ed had already spent some of his savings on a house and lot in a subdivision. Just when he was wondering how he could sustain himself, another opportunity came knocking. He had to attend a debut and he bought a made-to-order suit.
So, nung pagkabili ko ng suit, parang medyo mahaba siya. So, naghanap ako ng alteration. So, nung pina-alter ko yung suit, sabi ko, kinausap ko yung nagbabantay doon. Sabi ko, ate, kumusta naman yung negosyo nyo? Okay naman ba yung ganyan? Tapos sabi nung babae, okay yung ganong negosyo. Malakas daw yung dati. Kaya lang napabayaan sila ng dating may-ari. Eh, since at that time, yung may-ari was actually migrating to US na siya. So, pagka-alter yung damit ko, nag-try ako na magtayo ng isa dito sa Cherry Fodarama.
This was in August 2008. He also decided to go back to the altering station where he had his suit altered and offered to buy the shop from the original owner, who was then returning from the United States. To make a long story short, the owner agreed to sell her 3 shops to Ed for 2.5 million pesos. Ed agreed and paid with the balance of his savings. After only 7 years in the business, Ed already counts 50 company-owned stores where he employs some 140 employees, mostly in malls. He also has 10 stand-up stores, and in June of this year, he joined the Alliance of Filipino Franchisers Incorporated, and 4 months later, he already has 7 franchises. Ed Paras is one good example of an entrepreneur who made good despite all odds. He has this advice to budding entrepreneurs.
Doon sa mga taong gustong maging entrepreneur, basta may opportunity na dumating, take it, grab it, and then do something about it. Gawin ang lahat para mapaunlad ito. And then, samahan ng sipag, tiyaga at dasal sa itaas.
What an inspiring story indeed of the owner and proprietor of Paras Alter Station, this week's proud Pinoy entrepreneur.